Listen, this time I'm giving one of y'all 50 stacks.
I'll have whatever the old man having.
$50,000. You guys know I gave 30 stacks to Tim Butler.
30G.
30 stacks to Jane West. 20 stacks to Justin Hill Pop. And 30 stacks to Sloth. This time I'm giving 50 stacks to a lucky subscriber once we get to 400,000 subscribers. You guys know I ain't playing. Oh my God. Hit the Tyson bell. No bull jive. Listen, I've been all over social media ever since, the events, boxing events last night, which they were just fantastic last night. Shout out to the PBC, shout out to DAZN, shout out to Matchroom, and everyone included. No Limit, everybody included in last night's events. And I'm all over social media, and I'm seeing a lot of different reactions to Errol the Truth Spence and his retirement and his last performance against Him Zoo. And, I see a lot of hurt Errol Spence boxing fans, and I want to give my take on Errol Spence's retirement. And I gave a bit of a take on my live stream last night, and I just want to add to that in the morning after. There's a lot of people who are trying to find out why Errol Spence performed the way he did last night. Many people talking about the car accident. And I want to say this. Why Errol Spence performed like that last night wasn't because of the car accident. There were a lot of questions about Errol Spence's durability going into that fight. He took a beating from Him Zoo, a 160-pound Him Zoo, for 12 rounds. Hit the Tyson bell. It wasn't the durability that caused that performance last night. It was Father Time. It was that magic boxing age of 35, 36. See, there's 34, right? When you start hitting the top of the hill, and then 35 is over the hill, and then 36, 37. Listen, I know there's a lot of young boxing fans out there, and Errol Spence was probably your entry into the sport of boxing. You're probably the biggest fan ever of Errol the Truth Spence, and it pained you very much and confused you after seeing what you saw in that performance last night. But I've been around boxing for a long time, and 35, 36 is that magic number. Errol Spence, 36 years old. For the most part, the great boxers who lived life like a fighter, they all just dropped off around 35, 36. Sugar Ray Robinson had no business dropping a fight than winning a fight against the likes of Gene Fullmer at 35 and Carmen Basilio at 36. Sugar Ray Robinson in his 20s would have cooked both of those dudes. Sugar Ray Leonard was 34 years old and 9 months when he lost to Terry Norris. A prime Sugar Ray Leonard would have smoked Terry Norris. Muhammad Ali, when he was 35, he lost to Leon Spinks. He won the rematch, and then he said goodbye. Should have retired forever, but nah, he came back, losing to Larry Holmes and Trevor Burbick. Iron Mike Tyson, at 36, he was knocked out by Lennox Lewis. Hell, Evander Holyfield, same age. He had that controversial draw with Lennox Lewis. Everyone knows Lennox Lewis beat Holyfield. Holyfield looked like a shell of himself against Lennox Lewis in that first fight. More recently, Tyson Fury, 35 years old, going toe-to-toe with an 0-0 Francis Ngannou who dropped him. Then he lost back-to-back to Alexander Usyk. Listen, bro, when you're 35, 36, and you've lived your life like a fighter, you drop off. And what I mean by live your life as a fighter, I'm talking about those fighters who dominated. When they were young, they felt invincible, and they weren't all that responsible. Either way, Father Time is going to catch up with all of us. But it's a longer chase when you've concentrated during those young years to preserve your health. Fighters who come to mind, Floyd Mayweather, Terrence Crawford, and even Terrence Crawford didn't look great against Madrimov when he was 35. Floyd Mayweather was fighting guys around his age when he started to age. You get what I'm saying? He didn't look great against Andre Berto. He didn't look great against Maidana. Even those guys, Father Time catches up with you. And it caught up with Errol the Truth Spence. Now, what resonated with me last night was Errol the Truth Spence's retirement speech in the post-fight interview. Because there was something about Errol Spence. There's something that happened in that retirement speech that made me say, that's why I've always liked Errol Spence. That's my guy. It's when he said this.
But it's time to be on with my family and, and live that family life.
Let's hear it for these two fighters, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm not talking about I want to be around my family and everything he said. It was this little laugh at the end.
And live that family life.
Let's hear it.
Because Errol Spence was always a knucklehead, bro. His reputation of just a bone breaker, destroy you type of fighter grew like a wildfire amongst fighters who knew Errol Spence. He became famous after blackening Floyd Mayweather's eye. Hell, even Clarissa Shields said, this dude fought me like a man.
Who are some of the best male fighters you ever sparred?
Oh shit, Errol Spence. I sparred Errol Spence.
No way, how was that?
So I got in there and basically tried to fight Errol Spence. It was sparring. I definitely think he beat me up though, but I wasn't like marked up or anything.
And Errol Spence, he always laughed at things like that. And in Errol Spence's form, he even laughed at his damn self. That's Errol Spence, the wild boy, laughing at pain, even his own. Now, the last two things I want to say, one includes Bud Crawford. We're going to talk about that now. When Bud Crawford was interviewed immediately after Errol Spence's loss, that brother was hurt.
Was it hard for you to watch?
Kind of. I really wanted him to do real well. He did what he had to do to finish the fight, though.
You can tell. And it was just pretty sad to see Bud Crawford looking at Errol Spence as he walks off with Ronnie Shields, losing that fight last night. That's a moment that Bud Crawford has never had. And I said this last night. When you have a great op, when you just have that great opposite and y'all clash, y'all become like brothers afterwards. You go back to that famous or infamous moment in the hallway between Bud and Errol, and then you just think about their relationship now. I mean, that's what greatness is all about, regardless of the outcome of their fight. And the last thing I want to say is how I dropped the ball. I dropped the ball with a take that I had last night. When Errol Spence entered the ring, he was looking around, and I thought he was just absorbing the energy of the crowd and just happy he was there. And he was going to use that to energize him to a victory. Now, when looking back at it, I dropped the ball. Errol Spence was looking around to take it all in, as if he's saying, this may be my last time. Let me look around here and just have this moment for myself. So when I'm seeing comments of people saying Errol Spence should have stayed retired, why did he come back? It was that moment. He just wanted to see it again. He just wanted to know himself if he still had it. I mean, come on, dude. Which one of us men can't relate to that? When we get older in our age and then we do a little flirt or something and the woman responds, we're not trying to get with her. We just want to know that's confirmation that I still got it. Let me know how you feel in the comments below. ShowBizz adult. Errol Spence, man, that guy, absolutely the man. I've watched every fight of his because, thank goodness, his very first fight was televised. I watched this guy from before he became a pro fighter and all the stuff that we heard about with Floyd Mayweather and everything about sparring and the Olympics and all those things, all the way up to his retirement. What a great career to watch in its totality. And I think the best way to end this video and say goodbye to Errol Spence is our song, War Room. Because right now, hearing that song and looking at the video now, it's going to really hit. I'm out.
Miss you. I don't wanna sit in silence. I miss you. Don't wanna sit in silence. Silence. Oh.
Yo, the waiting is over. Yeah. Look. Look, they say boxing is a death sport. Ashes to ashes, like trash in the alley. But cashes is cashes, which means we could compete. As long as I got breath in my lungs and my 2 feet and a strong heartbeat, we could rumble, young man. Put the gloves in your hands. The talking is over. All that we were arguing over is over. We could sit in silence before the noise and the roars and arena doors open. Before we throw hands, we satisfy the demands. This is for the fans, my legacy, my little mans who looked up at me like, Dad, you're about to hurt them bad. Yo, this shit is serious. The big fish and the fisherman, the old man in the sea. But before you all see the violence and the bloodshed, we can sit in silence. But before you all see the violence and the bloodshed, we can sit in silence.